Welcome to another video on the K20 Mini. Just want to show you what we've been up to. Obviously it's on the road now, so I've been out on it a few times, enjoying it, having a bit of fun. But of course there's some teething problems, so let me show you what's been happening. So the suspension's been bottoming out. I say bottoming out, it's not, it's been hitting the arches because there wasn't enough clearance. So I've been trying to get my head around that, figure that out. You can see he's been whacking the arch there, damaged it. You can see where all the rubber's been hitting. It's even taken a big chunk out of the tyre. Oh yeah, you can see there. So that's kind of where we're at. So there were some wheel spacers on the back. So I thought, perfect. Take the wheel spacers off. Wheel will go in, sit nicer on the arches, which it does. Now they're not poking out anymore. I've also ground off the inside lip a little bit. So I thought, great, that'll clear now. But no, it's never that easy. The tyre is hard up against the suspension arm. Let me show you so I can get a better angle. The tyre's hard up against that now. So even though it was only a 10mm spacer, that 10mm spacer was needed. So now, these were the 10mm spacers that were on it. They weren't hub centric, so that always annoyed me. So I've been doing some research, trying to take some measurements, figure out what's what and what the components are actually off, because I bought the car as a half finished build, so to speak, so I didn't know. So I know the calipers have got Ford written on them, and researched now like a Ford Sierra type caliper. So measured the bore of this and took that disc off and measured the hub and everything, and there's 4 other bolt holes in that. So I measured the PCD of the hub. That's 4 by 108, which is the old Ford stuff. So essentially I realised that this was all old Ford stuff. So the caliper, the hub, the disc. So what I've done is, you can see where it was catching this side, just slightly off topic. I've ordered some hub centric spacers for 4 by 108 stud pattern, and they will obviously be hub centric, so they will mount on there, which is perfect, and they'll obviously be centralized and mounted off the hub rather than just loose like that. The other issue I had was the bore of this is 63 outer diameter, and the bore of the wheels was like 60. So the wheel wouldn't go over that hub. So I thought that was why they'd spaced it out, to basically take the depth of that. But so of course I messed around for hours with the wheels, and I actually bored them out a little bit. I know it's a bit redneck, but I got a 63mm hole saw and essentially opened up the back of the wheel, cleaned it up, tidied it up, and I thought, great, that slots straight over the hub, that's perfect. And then I realised obviously it was hitting. So now I've got hub centric spacers coming, so the wheel will go, obviously the hub centric spacer will go onto the hub, centralised perfectly in the middle, and then that's got also the same 63mm extension coming off it, so then the wheel will bolt onto that. So that fixes one problem that's been annoying me for a while, but it still doesn't fix the issue with the wheels hitting the arches. So I've measured this. The problem is I don't know which wheel arches these are. I've got a good idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's like 85mm converted, that's like 3.3 inches or whatever it is, so 3 1/4 or 3 1/3 inches. So I've checked out Group 2 arches, Group 5 arches, Group 7 arches, because they're all the ones that have got these external bolt holes. Otherwise, or you go into sports pack or Miglia arches or that type of thing. I'm not keen on Miglia arches. I kind of like the full arch look. And sports pack, I'm not against sports pack arches, but I've already done a load of body work. You know, put riv nuts in, you know, made an effort for these arches to fit. So I kind of want to try and stick along that. And also, I don't want to change the fronts. So I want some that kind of match the front up. So, got some arches on. I've ordered Group 7 ones, which according to the website are 3.5 inch. So, it's going to buy me, you know, 10 or 15 mil. In fact, what's 3.5 inches? Let's have a little look on a tape measure. 3.5 inches is 90 mil. So I'm only gaining myself 5 mil. But it's 5 mil I didn't have. It's 5 mil I didn't have. So they're 85 and they're hitting with a 10 mil spacer. So I'll have 90 mil with the 10 mil spacer. So I'm 5 mil better off. And then if I grind the inside edge off the new ones as well, I might have to introduce a bit of camber. See how we go, but it's going to be a bit of trial and error really. But one good thing is I seen this happening. So I already cut out the arches, the metal work, welded in this reinforcement lip. So on the body work, I've got tons of clearance. You know, there's no way that suspension is going to travel that, well, it potentially would, but you know, I've got a lot of travel there. Whereas if you look at the arches, you know, I've only got sort of 3 fingers width, whereas in there I can essentially fit, you know, my whole hand. So there's plenty of room on the body work. Something else to take into account as well, the suspension was set up quite soft, which was great for driving around on British roads. It was riding lovely, absorbing all the bumps and potholes. But obviously that was resulting in quite a lot of suspension travel. So I've turned the dials up on the adjustable rebound and compression, tighten them up because they were eventually set. I think there's 14 clicks and they were set in the middle. So yeah, now they're 3 clicks off full stiffness. So see if that helps as well. So it's going to be a combination of everything, but there's just another view there of how much clearance I've got on the bodywork versus the arch. And that's the arch there, metal work. So let's wait for the bits to come and see where we're up to. Something else that I realised you guys haven't seen, finished my carbon fibre dash and I've got that in. I've made a bracket for the IC7. That mounts to the steering column, so that's not mounted to the dash. So I'll get you some better shots of that, but really pleased with how that's come out. I've cut it around the roll cage and then slid in the piece of cut behind it. So sort of aesthetically it looks like it's one piece and you can't see behind the roll bars. But it means I can take out the dash if I have to. Because as it was previously, you had to take out the whole roll cage to even get the dash out, which is just ridiculous. Especially now I've got my fuse board behind there. If I need to check something, I need it to be relatively accessible. So yeah, getting there, always something to do. So more updates to come. Thanks for watching. I know I'm a small YouTube channel, but I do appreciate your views. I document most of the zone stuff for my own sort of journey, so I can watch back and see what I've done on my own cars. But it's nice to know other people are kind of interested, and if you are interested, give us a like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, doesn't, you know, mean much to you, but it just lets me know and lets my videos get seen a bit more. So yeah, give us a subscribe. And on that topic as well, You'll see I've rebranded to Fitzworks, and planning on getting some other project cars. I really fancy a BMW E30, so if you're interested in that other type of stuff, hopefully be showing some different type of content and videos on here soon. Nice one, cheers.